Hi, this is Gerald Celente. It's Tuesday, June 2nd, 2020, and your new Trends Journal's out. Whew. And this is a very important issue. Take a look at the cover. COVID war, civil war. Divide and conquer. Politicians and the media pouring gas on it. Another Anthony Freda special. This is very important. It's urgent what's going on. Think about it. The world's on global lockdown by politics, low-life, middle-aged mentality politicians that suck the life out of us, the joy, the beauty, the freedom, and the liberty. And then all of a sudden, last Thursday, a white cop in Minnesota is seen on video around the world choking a guy to death with his knee on his throat. Think about it. The economy in the United States was on lockdown, sinking deep, 40 million people out of work. Ghost towns. And now it's starting to open up. But now it's all locked down again in states and cities around the country on curfew because of the riots and protests going on in response to the murder of George Floyd. These are the people, by the way, many of them, that are hit the hardest by this lockdown. The lower economic strata. The people that work in restaurants, the hospitality sector, tourism, gone. And now they're out on the streets protesting. At the same time, when the economy's shut down. Oh, and by the way, to show you what amount of
that is bullshit
that the stock markets are, today it went up over 200 points. In the midst of all this, and there's a great article in there by Gregory Mannarino in the Trends Journal, the debt bomb that's ready to explode. It's all a fallacy. The markets have nothing to do with Main Street. Think about it. One of my top trends for 2020, the New World Disorder. There were riots going on before this happened throughout 2019 in France, in Lebanon, in Hong Kong, in Chile, in Peru, in Bolivia, in Venezuela, in India, in South Africa, all over the world, people protesting. What were they fighting against? Basic living income and corruption in the governments, violence, and now you have it all again. You cannot have a clearer level of corruption in the governments than what they have done to us. The little low-life boys right at the top all the way down, and girls, that have robbed us of our freedom, liberty, and justice as they give all the money to the rich. Hey, Wall Street's doing fine. You read your Trends Journal last week, how the billionaires, hey, they got a lot billion, almost $500 billion richer in the United States since the lockdown. These demonstrations going on in the United States do not reflect the ones that went on around the world, because now it's racially divided. It's a divided nation. This is going to be worse than the 1960s when I was a young guy, when cities around the country were burning down because of racial protest. This is bigger than a racial issue. It's a militarized state. The fish rots from the head down, and all we've had are disgusting, rotten pieces of fish. From that slimy Sarkozy over there in France to little cojones, nothing, ballless Cameron to Obama, the Nobel Peace or Crap Prize winner. Hey, that Gaddafi, he gotta go. I want to steal his money and his gold and his oil. He gotta go. The fish rots from the head down. A slimy lowlife like Slick Willie Clinton. I want that guy out of there. No more Yugoslavia. George W. Lowlife scumbag Bush. Hussein gotta go. Based on lies, all of them. The fish rots from their head down. The police are just following orders. The nation's become militarized and demoralized by freaks and fools running our lives. I want that guy Soleimani out of there. Get rid of Maduro. I want him gone. Don't you know who I am? I'm your supreme leader. Heil Hitler. March to Mussolini. Salute to Stalin. Suck up to Conti. Bow down to Sanchez. Believe Merkel. I love Cuomo. How about Gruesome? And the people follow. These protests in the United States better change their focus. It's more than a racial divide. It's a divide against we the people from the tyrants that are leading us. If we don't turn this around and march for peace, prosperity, liberty, joy, and justice, we are going to sink into a civil war. And the civil war will be followed by world war. Matter of fact, the protests, because of what's happened in the United States, they're taking place around the world now. Associated Press, Paris. Tear gas choked Paris streets as riot police faced off with protesters, setting fires Tuesday amid growing global outrage over George Floyd's death in the United States, racial injustice, and here's the big one: heavy-handed police tactics around the world. The police are the people. Stop bowing down to them. Look what this guy George Floyd was killed for. Oh, he was arrested. Hey, he was passing off a phony $20 bill, they say. Oh, that's a good reason. Hey, you little slimy coppers. How come you didn't do that to the blank fines, to the Jamie Dimons, to all the banksters that stole our trillions of dollars? Hey, but this guy had a phony $20 bill. Oh, it's okay that they robbed $29 trillion from us. It's okay that they're too big to fail. Well, we're not only too big to jail, we're too small to keep alive, so they murder us. We better unite. And a lot of the police around the country are. They're not all for this. There are some that are against it and others that aren't. There's that mentality where the guys that were the bullies in high school, now they could bully you now, but they're not all like that. We must turn this around. Again, the economy was going down before this. And now these little slime balls were letting us reopen it with two hands tied behind our back with all these made-up regulations. And now you can't go out at night because we got a curfew going on. Again, look at your Trends Journal cover. COVID War, Civil War 2.0. Divide and conquer. This is the United States. It's time for us to unite, not only in the United States, and I know the terrible things about it, but I also know the great things about it. I couldn't be me if I was born in Alta Valle Arpina, Vica Quenz, from where my family came from. I'm me because I was born to be free. Born in the Bronx, born to be me. The Constitution, the Bill of Rights, the world loved it. And that's what we have to live for. That's what we have to fight for. We have to fight for a return for our freedom and break up these destructive gangs, the Repulsivekins and the Democrats. As I see it, it's a time for direct democracy. Let we the people decide. Hey, it works in Switzerland. Let it work here. And if you don't want to do that, then wherever you are, do what you want to do. But do it in the name of peace. Because I am a warrior for the Prince of Peace. So enjoy your Trends Journal. Please do what you can to spread the word. The more subscribers we have, the more we can do. Because if we don't fight for freedom and bring joy and liberty and love and beauty back into our lives, you can see the despair that we're diving into. It'll be hell. And I'm not going there. Thank you. The COVID-19 war has changed the world. But who's prepared? What's next? It's in your Trends Journal. Trends Journal subscribers are prepared. Subscribe to the Trends Journal. Read history before it happens. From the world leader in trend forecasting.